Hi, I'm Steve Thompson, president of Emery Thompson Machinery, and welcome to our 100th video seminar on YouTube video and at our website. I hope it helps you. What I'm going to discuss today is some of the basics of making ice cream and ices. We've done these 100 videos, and they really go into great detail and show a lot of different things, but I think it's good to go over the basics of how you make ice cream and how you make Italian ices. Now that's 100 hours of information, free information, that you can get from our website, emerythompson.com, to teach you how to make hard ice cream, Italian ices, gelato, frozen yogurt, frozen lemonade, sorbet, sorbetto, virtually any product that's on the market today, and products that haven't even been invented yet. I looked at some of the other websites before coming on this morning, and I have to say that there is nothing out there at all that compares to Emery Thompson as far as information on how to do things. Well, I got to take that back a little bit. I have to say bravo to one company. They did have 34 seconds of video at their website. We have 100 hours. So let's get started. I'm going to show you how to make cannoli ice cream today. The cannoli provided by Mr. Cannoli in the central part of New York State, and I think it'll be pretty interesting. First, I'll show you the inside of a machine. This is one of our mid-size machines, a 12 quart. And this is the beater. This is what spins around inside the machine making the ice cream. In the old days, a long time ago, 1903, my grandfather, Emery Thompson, was using a wood bucket like this, and he had a dasher. We called it a dasher. That's an old-fashioned term. Other companies called it beater. But the dasher goes in there, and you have rock salt and ice as far as you're cold, and you turn a crank, and it spins slowly, and after about 40 minutes, it makes ice cream. The technology is still basically the same, just like the technology to a car or a boat is the same, only the designs have changed. And so today we are making true homemade ice cream. Now this goes into a horizontal cylinder. Why horizontal? Well, we got rid of the vertical in 1919. That's a long time ago. And we did that because Newton's law, whatever is put in up top is going to fall to the bottom. Whatever goes up must come down. And so we don't want mint chip ice cream that's very heavy with chips on the bottom and nothing up top. So by turning it horizontally all the way back in 1919, we get a better distribution out of the machine as far as nuts and cookies and candies and everything else. That just goes in like that. Lock it into place. Put the bearing on. And we're going to close it up. Now I'll put some sanitizer in there. Sanitizer, there's commercial ones. I use Sterashine, which is very good. Basically, they're all chlorine-based. The idea being that you want to kill off any bacteria that might be in there from being on my hands or just sitting around overnight. So I've mixed up the Sterashine and water here, and we'll just pour that right in. My grandfather, Emery Thompson, invented this machine and patented it. World's first patent on a mechanized batch freezer in 1905, before anybody else in the world. That means every single batch freezer on Earth is based on Emery Thompson's patents. Now I'm going to turn this on and just let it spin. This is our Infinite Overrun Control, which I'll tell you about in a minute. People talk about innovation, but Emery Thompson actually does it. I have not seen any changes in the machines from Bravo, Technogel, Cappigiani, Taylor, Electro-Freeze, Stolting, none of them in the last 10 years. Well, I take it back. I was looking at Cappigiani this morning. They changed the name of the batch freezers. It's got some new fancy name, but it still has the same model numbers, still looks the same, still does the same. Emery Thompson, on the other hand, is the leader in innovation. I am constantly working with my engineers to improve our machines. I'll give you some examples. As you can see, that's an all-cast stainless steel door. It's curved to allow you to pull the product out as fast as you can. The opening here is very large. We're the only machine in the world where you can put whole nuts, cookies, candies right into the machine. What does that do for you? It means instead of making strawberry ice cream that consists of vanilla ice cream with strawberries added as it's coming out, you have vanilla ice cream with, for every particle of vanilla, there's a particle of strawberry right next to it. That makes a huge difference. Our freezing cylinders are wrapped in copper tubing. Everybody else uses aluminum. Well, so what? Well, the so what is aluminum only lasts 8 to 11 years. So that means the heart and soul of your machine, the freezing cylinder, is going to be dead in up to 11 years and not 12. So your Italian machine or your any other brand machine is going to be in the junk heap in 11 years. I think that's a pretty short amount of time for a costly machine. We build these to last longer than 45 years. We're using pure copper. Copper is like gold. It's inert. 1,000 years from now, copper will still be copper. It will not have deteriorated the way aluminum does. Our compressors are Copeland Corporation, made in America, in Ohio. The highest quality, most efficient compressors they make. The brand, they're called scroll compressors. Basically, if you've ever seen ads for the Mazda rotary engine, where instead of a piston going back and forth in the compressor or the engine, it's spinning around in a circle. That's what the new scroll compressors do, and we have them on our machines. There's nothing more efficient. In fact, one of my customers had a 35-year-old Emery Thompson he just replaced. He said, in the same size, and he says his electric bill went down $234 a month. And the only thing different in the entire store was that he switched over to a new Emery Thompson. So that's quite a dramatic change. We'll drain this out. 12 years ago, I invented the Infinite Overrun Control, which no one has yet been able to copy. And what that does is instead of having to buy one machine for ice cream and another for gelato and another for sorbet, I can vary the drive of this machine so that I can give you any air content ice cream, from Breyers all the way down to frozen custard and everything in between. I can give you different products then. I can give you on one machine gelato. I can make frozen custard. I can make frozen yogurt. All the Italian ices. Italian ices are the consistency of wet cement. So you literally need a cement mixer in order to make Italian ice. That's why 96% of all Italian ices in the world are made on Emery Thompsons. If you're currently buying your Italian ice, you're buying it from someone who's making it on Emery Thompson. So why not make it yourself and make it for a lot less? So that's ready to go. Now, let's go over some of the things that confuse people. We're like every industry. Ken, who has done all the production on these videos, is our systems analyst, and he manages everything in the building. And so in his industry, he has words like bits and bytes and bauds and gigabytes, and I don't know what half of them mean. Well, unfortunately, we do the same. Right, Ken?
That's right.
Unfortunately, we do the same thing. We have, in the industry, terms that mean something to us that mean absolutely nothing to you. Tell me, what could sound worse than the word mix? Doesn't that sound like a powder? Doesn't that sound awful? Well, it's not. It goes into ice cream is milk, cream, a secret ingredient you wouldn't know, skim milk, and sugar. Those are the ingredients. We also sometimes will use a natural stabilizer like guar or carrageenan, which guar is a gum, carrageenan is a seaweed, so that's fine to extend the life of the product. And this is what consists of ice cream. Well, instead of me going out to the supermarket and buying all these products, which under the health laws of the United States, you would have to buy cream already pasteurized and bring it home and repasteurize it. And the same with the milk and the same with the skim milk. If we buy it from a dairy, then all that is done for us. This product is a blend of milk, cream, skim milk, and sugar. It came out of the cow yesterday. It couldn't be any more fresh. And it was put together with the proper percentages of each of those ingredients so that we end up with a perfect ice cream. Now, you could make your own. First problem you'd run into, and people do it. Ample Hills in Brooklyn, New York is a famous example of someone who's doing very well making their own ice cream mix. You could do that, but first you got to find a source for 40 gallons every couple of days of fresh cream. That alone is going to be difficult. And then when it comes to blending it all together, ask yourself this question. Do you know the difference between a Jersey cow, a Guernsey, and a Holstein? I'm from the Bronx. I have no clue. I have no idea what they do differently, but they all produce different levels of cream and different textures. Also, did you know that a cow produces more cream in the wintertime than they do in the summer? I didn't know that. Well, that's what dairy scientists know, and that's what they do, and they adjust for it. I think we'll all agree that McDonald's is a lousy hamburger, but it's a consistently lousy hamburger in Moscow or in St. Pete, Florida, or in Irvine, California. No matter where you go in the world, when you go through McDonald's, you know what you're going to get. And if your ice cream isn't the same today as it'll be 2 years from now, people are going to say, oh, you know what, they changed it. Well, you didn't really change it. You just didn't know how to put the mix together as well as a dairy scientist does. So that's why I use that. It's available anywhere in the United States. There are absolutely thousands of dairies everywhere. If you're overseas and there's not cows available, you can buy powdered mix. You take this, you reconstitute it. It's going to cost more because it costs money to turn it from fresh dairy into a powder and then ship it to you. But as an alternative, it certainly works. That's the way most Italian ice creams are used. They use powders. We in the United States, we use fresh dairy.
Does skim milk come from skinny cows?
Skim milk does not come from skinny cows, but thank you anyway. Skim milk comes from taking the fat. Actually, skim milk is really good for you. You should be drinking it in your coffee if you're going to have anything other than black, because skim milk is heavy cream with all the fat removed. So it's got all the bad stuff taken out and left all the good stuff in. So skim milk's a really good product. Okay, let me measure this out. There we go.
Didn't spill a drop.
Well, not yet, Ken. The day is early, so let's see what I can do or not do. I think I'll put you jinxed me. I'll put a bucket under there. All right, here we go. There's such a large opening here that it's really pretty easy. Okay. Then we're going to take the product from Mr. Cannoli. Mr. Cannoli is Scott Wilkinson, and Scott's from Middle Hope, New York. And he started off taking one of my classes and said, I'd like to get into the Italian ice business. And that was only a couple of years ago. Now he's one of the biggest businesses in New York State, making Italian ices and gelato. His business has just really boomed. Why? Because he makes a great product. This is cannoli cream that he sent down from his place of business. Let me turn on the Infinite Overrun Control. I'm going to set it for gelato and start that up. And we're going to put that right in there. You can't do this with any other machine. You'll void your warranty. Plus, you won't even get it in the machine. The openings are too small. Oh, and I can turn the refrigeration on now, too. Let that start freezing. It's going to take about 8 minutes. Very fast. Now, a term that you're going to hear a lot of is overrun. Overrun is complicated when you first hear about it, but it really isn't. There is air in ice cream. If there wasn't air in ice cream, it would taste like lard. So the easiest way to describe it is a high air content product would be like a birthday cake. A low air content, or gelato, would be like a pound cake. They're both good. They're both different. There's birthday cake and pound cake. They have two different tastes. Most people in business prefer, and your customers prefer, a birthday cake because you can have a second piece and not feel really heavy and full. But with the Emery Thompson, the only machine on the market that can do this, you can adjust that air content to give you either birthday cakes or pound cakes and everything in between. But you know what? No mother walking into an ice cream parlor with a 7-year-old with her. The 7-year-old never turned to the mother and said, "Mommy, can I have a low overrun ice cream?" They don't say that. Or they don't say, "I really like that butterfat content, Mommy. That just made it great." They order mint chip or Oreo cookie or Cookie Monster, and they say, "Oh, that had great flavor." The point is, what matters in ice cream is the flavor. If you underflavor it, it's going to be bland. It's going to be Breyers. If you flavor it properly, it's going to be like my customers Haagen-Dazs and Ben & Jerry, who we put into business, and it's going to have a lot of flavor and a lot of great taste. We're going to let this run for a few minutes, and then we'll come back and talk about Italian ices. We're just about ready now. We'll pull it in a couple of minutes. I do watch it to see how it's doing from time to time, also while getting my other next flavor ready. The Infinite Overrun Control, you'll see on the other machine that has the first generation Infinite Overrun Control, which is fantastic. It's 2 buttons up and down to set the revolutions per minute that you want. This new one is like an iPhone touchpad. We have built into it all the different types of products that you can make. So if you want to make gelato, you just push the screen and it runs at the gelato speed. If you want to do super premium, you push the button and it brings it to another preset speed. You can also, up and down 2 buttons, change the speed to anything that you like. So it's the most versatile Infinite Overrun Control that we've ever built. And again, nobody else has it except for Emery Thompson. We truly are the innovators in the industry. And I had to say, being from the Bronx, if it sounds like I'm bragging, I am. I'm very proud of what we build. We build better than anyone else in the world. And as Babe Ruth from the beloved New York Yankees said, it ain't bragging if you can do it. Well, every single day of the week, we do it here at Emery Thompson. That is looking pretty nice. I'll give it a little bit longer. Next, we're going to talk about Italian ice and how to make that. Italian ice is just sugar, water, and flavor. It couldn't be any more simple, and it couldn't be any less expensive to produce. Like I said, this is our 100th hour of videos. You can watch the other 99 hours at emerythompson.com. That's EmeryThompson.com. I think if you watch all 100 hours, you're going to know everything you could possibly ever need to know about opening up a frozen dessert business. And the best part is, it's all for free. When you call Emery Thompson, when you have any questions, don't be surprised if I pick up the phone. We have a race to see who gets to the phone first. None of this answering machines, push button 5, push button 4, please leave a message. You'll get a live person. And if we're closed for the weekend or after business hours, the answering machine will actually give you my home telephone number. CEO of the corporation, I still want to talk to you on weekends. If you have a question, I will do my best to answer it, and I'll do it no matter where I am in the world. You just call my home phone number. I don't think you'll find the president of Taylor giving out his home phone number, or Capigiani, or Bravo, or Technogel, or any of the little ones like Electrofreeze or Stolting. We are the only people who are so confident of their machines that they do that. In fact, last weekend, my wife and I, Paula, my office manager, we were over on the other side of the state. My phone was, of course, with me. And we were gone for 4 days, not a single phone call. That's how good our machines are. And that's with over 36,000 machines running in 172 countries. I think that's pretty impressive. This has a nice dry look to it. Now you're going to see it come out very fast because that's the way we designed the machines. Because think of it like a steak. If you're broiling a steak and it's medium rare, and you pull it out, and the first little bit of it is medium rare, but it takes you 2 minutes to get it out, well, the back end of the steak is going to be well done, if not charred. So it's important to be able to get your product out quick. So watch this. And this is still on the slow speed. I can even ramp it up a bit to get out the rest of the product, which just makes it even faster. And we're just about done. Our scraper blades will last on average 5 years. We designed a spring-loaded system that nobody else has, so that when the blades are 4 years and 10 months old, they're still pushing out just like a new set of blades. Everybody else's scraper blades have to be changed every 6 months. Not 5 years, 6 months. Your maintenance cost on these Italian machines is extremely high, and unfortunately most of the Italian machines and the big names that you know, they're buying all their parts from Italy. The American Emery Thompson machine is made from parts manufactured in the United States by American companies. So take a look at that. Isn't that beautiful? That is a delicious, rich cannoli ice cream.
Yeah.
Let me put this in the freezer, and then I want to talk to you a little bit about Italian ice. So give me 1 second. Ken, do you want to entertain him with a third movement from Evita while I do this? How's your singing voice today?
I can't find my flute story.
Oh, gee, well, I can't ask you to perform then without that. Italian ice, one of the most profitable products you can ever produce. It can cost you as little as a half a penny an ounce. That means a 4-ounce serving, and remember, 4 ounces is a quarter pound. Sounds big. It could cost you 2 cents to produce that. It could actually also cost you as much as a whopping 5 cents. 5 cents for something that you're going to get $2 for. That's incredible profit. Now, what is Italian ice? It's the same thing as sorbet and sorbetto. People would like to tell you differently, but it's not true. If you ask them what sorbet is, they'll say it's sugar, water, and flavoring. Well, guess what? Italian ice is sugar, water, and flavoring. So the water comes from the sink. Nothing difficult about that. The sugar is any brand that you can get at the supermarket. Buy the cheapest that you can find, because there's no difference between Domino sugar and the house brand. We're down in the South, so our big supermarkets are Publix. So this is Publix sugar. Came out of the same refinery. No problem whatsoever. If you didn't want to use sugar, you could use molasses. You could use agave nectar. Agave's made from cactus. It's also used to make tequila. So there are different substitutes for sugar. For flavoring, I use 3 levels of flavor. I use fresh frozen fruit that I buy at the supermarket. Why frozen? Because fresh fruit is only in season for a few weeks and then it's out of season. If I buy the frozen fresh fruit in small bags over in the ice cream section, there's nothing else in there. There's no heavy syrups, just frozen raspberries, blueberries, strawberries, peaches. They were picked at the height of freshness and frozen, quite inexpensive, and are just great in ice creams and Italian ices. Not every flavor is available. If you want to make mango, it's hard to get mangoes. Mangoes are difficult to deal with, and they have a very short time of when they're really fresh. So I use mango base. There's a company called I Rice. That's the letter I and then R-I-C-E. out of Philadelphia. They have the greatest mango base. So my formula here is sugar, water, and in this size machine it would be 2 quarts of mango base. Fabulous stuff. Let's say you want to make cotton candy. We don't have any cotton candy trees down here in Florida. They all got killed out in the cotton candy blight. So we use an extract. What is an extract? It's a small container of a concentrated flavor. Now, if you've ever baked a birthday cake, you used vanilla extract. Well, this is bubble gum. We're using bubble gum extract. So the formula is sugar, water, and a couple ounces of bubble gum extract. Couldn't be simpler. So using the extract, my cost is down about 1/2 penny an ounce. Using the base, my cost might be 1.5 pennies an ounce, and using the fresh fruit, 1 3/4 of an ounce. Just ridiculously low cost to make your own Italian ice and then sell it for anywhere from $1.50 up for a 4-ounce portion. Now, just one thing to worry about with Italian ices, and it's not a worry, it's just to warn you that if you take flavor and water and put it into a machine, what you get is an ice cube. Let me show you an ice cube. You need sugar in order for it to turn into Italian ice. Without sugar, it's not Italian ice. It's not a frozen dessert. It's just some flavored water. So here's some Italian ice that I made last night without any sugar in it. And look at it. It's a solid block of nothing. It also doesn't have any taste. So if you call me up Saturday afternoon at 5 o'clock and say, my Italian ice is, my machine is banging and clanking, I'm going to ask you to taste this, and you're going to taste it, and you're going to say, I'll say, how does it taste? You'll say, oh, it's awful. It tastes like cherry juice and water. Well, there's a good reason. You left out the sugar. Oh, I couldn't have done that. I've been doing this for 15 years. Well, let me tell you, I've been making ice cream and ices since I was 16 years old working in the factory, and I'm obviously not 16 today. When I went to put the machine together, I put one of the blades on backwards. Oh, no, I would never do that. Yeah, anybody can do it. It's a very simple machine, and that means there are simple solutions to anything that's going wrong. That's why we give out our phone. I give out my phone number so you can call me. I have access to my engineers, and during business hours, you have access to everyone in our factories to help you out. No other company is like that. You just won't find that level of service. So the sugar's very important. So people say, I want to make a sugar-free Italian ice. It can be done, but it's wrong for a lot of reasons. First off, the person walking in asking for sugar-free Italian ice shouldn't be walking into your store. You see that? That's an insulin pump. I am dependent on insulin. That means I shouldn't be eating anything with sugar in it. I cheat, I turn up the pump, but I shouldn't be walking to a store buying the product. If someone's looking for something dietetic, we're making frozen desserts. We're making treats. You don't walk into a bakery because you're on a diet and you want sugar-free products. Maybe you'll buy some sugar-free cookies, but you'll be onto the regular cookies in no time. I can give you sugar-free Italian ice, but it uses chemicals, one of which is called multidextrin, to substitute the sugar. The problem with multidextrin is if you have a little taste of it, it's fine. Works great. Makes a nice Italian ice. If you have 4 ounces of it, it gives you what we lovingly call Montezuma's revenge. It has a quote-unquote diuretic effect. You do not want to have this product. It's not something you want to sell. You're better off saying, I'm sorry, ma'am, but we sell frozen treats here. We don't have sugar-free product. Same thing is pretty true with ice cream, too. You can't make a sugar-free ice cream because cow's milk has sugar in it, and you can't remove the cow's milk. So ice cream is never going to be sugar-free. We do have products that are called no sugar added. Well, the only true no sugar added is going to be vanilla because it gets a little silly when you make a no sugar added mint chip and your chocolate chips have tons of sugar in them. So be careful with truth in advertising and what people are seeing and what they want. But a batch freezer, our batch freezer is made to produce the world's best frozen desserts, products that people will come back to, they'll stand in line for. because they can't get anything this good anywhere else. And all this is taught to you for absolutely free at emerythompson.com. Just go to and watch our videos. If you watch all 100 hours of them, you'll be absolutely sick of me. There's no question about it. But the help is there. It's all for free. There's also a form you can fill out. And don't worry, I'm not going to call and bother you. I'm already working 16-hour days, so I'm not going to call you up and harass you. But you can fill out the form, and Ken will send you 5 free DVDs, additional DVDs that are not on the website that will help you even further. And we send that out for free with our literature. And one other thing that we do that nobody else on earth does, which just amazes me, and let me just make an analogy. How can you go buy a Chevy Silverado truck if you don't know what the cost is? If there's no sticker on it? And the salesman says, well, how many children do you have? And when are you planning to open? And how many square footage is your garage? And how are you going to use the machine? It's none of their business. Just let me look at the sticker and see if I can afford that. We put our prices, our net prices, direct to you, which are the lowest in the industry, even though it's a far superior machine. Since we're dealing direct and not going through a dealer, it's much less expensive, and they're on the website. Before you even call me, before you even do anything, you can look at the prices and say, oh, I can afford that one, but I can't afford this one. That's fine. That one is built to the same quality and durability as this one. So you buy what size machine will get you into business. And that's what I do. I put people into business. I hope this is helpful. I know it's going to be for you. And please don't hesitate to call me, Steve Thompson, Emery Thompson Machinery. Say hi to everybody. Look, there's the camera. Hi, everybody. Can you say hi?
I think she wants to.
Yeah. Sadie's going to be 13.